watchers, welcome to Perth Watch, your horology channel broadcasting from right here in Perth, Western Australia. Today I have the pleasure to feature CIGA Design's latest piece. It is presented in the usual, fairly nice packaging, and this one actually is probably the most hefty of them all, and it's pretty special because it has won a prize in the GPHG, nonetheless, the Oscars of watchmaking, if you will. Now this is probably the fifth or sixth CIGA Design watch I have done, but arguably one of the most fascinating pieces they have yet produced. So guys, without further ado, let's flip the camera around and take a closer look at this guy. Alright guys, so here we have the packaging on the table, and they are really quite proud to advertise that they have won the challenge prize at the Horology Grand Prix of Genève. I'm not going to try to pronounce that in French, I'm not a French speaker, but let me know if you know how to say that. So it's cardboard, and it does fit it with the environmentally friendly theme of this particular piece here with that globe display. Spinnability is actually not bad. There's at least a 3.5, even though it's actually rather hefty, thanks to the center bulge at the back there. So it's got a slip case here. I'm just going to show you the art on the box here. All right, the earth, and just note that this is, yes, it is the Eastern Hemisphere, not the typical Western Hemisphere that we usually seen, and that aliens somehow always see the Western Hemisphere in movies and media, but they have actually gone for the Eastern Hemisphere. All right, and there we go, the Earth in the future, and some other specs and whatnot related to this watch, or rather related to the Earth, I should say. A little bit of a motif page here, and then you get the piece itself. All right, so just going to take that out and assemble it on screen here, because the good thing about these quick release straps is that they're very easy to just do it right here and then without any hassle, and that's really does allow you to get on with it and do it quickly yourself, as well as allows you to take it off quickly and interchange straps if you so wish to do it with your watches, and that's why I really enjoy. I'm just going to show the rest of these things here. You can see, right, a bit of a user guide, right? Not something I necessarily need to really look at, but if you ever need to refer, it's a bit of a warranty thing as well. It's all here at the back. Okay, that's and then a bit about CIGA Design and what they have achieved, and a bit about the designer of this particular watch as well. All right, enough about the packaging. Just going to put that aside, and here is the watch to show you guys. This is, of course, the CIGA Design Blue Planet. They call it the U series. They have had obviously a number of different ones, J series, Z series, whatever. The lettering sometimes has little to do with the watch, but this is the U series Blue Planet, winner of the challenge prize at the GPHG. Now the list price originally, I think they put it something close to 2,000, but I just checked their site. The current release is 999 USD, discounted to 899 as I checked it a moment ago. All links to stuff down below if you wish to check it out. Right, first off, as I usually want to do, is to show you guys the movement. So the movement in here, guys, this is what they tell me is the CIGA Design custom movement, but if you look at the architecture, I swear it is based on the ETA 2824 or the Sleater SW200. Just check out pics of the movement, if you will. They have stipulated that it's a 28,800 beat per hour. That is what it is, but 35 joules, which is a lot higher than the 2824 ETA. 40-hour reserve with hacking, manual winding, and it's also got a kind of a ghost date position, but it doesn't have a existing date wheel, so it's got a ghost position as you pull out the crown. The rated accuracy, of course, is not stated, but hey, I tested this With a time grapher, it is regulated at +5 seconds per day, which is pretty darn good. Very easy for me to live with that. Right, enough about the movement. Now, talking about the case. What we have here is a 46mm diameter titanium alloy. They haven't told me exactly what grade titanium. Typically, it's grade 5, for wristwatches. Overall thickness, including the dome bottom and dome top glass there, is 15 millimeters. There is no lug-to-lug width as such because this is perfectly round. So that's also 46 millimeters between my thumbs there. And the lug width is 22 millimeters here. The overall weight is only 83 grams because these straps are really quite light, and of course titanium is also fairly light. So 83 grams, very comfortable, not a heavy watch by any means. Finishing wise, this is of course just fully brushed. This is titanium, very difficult to achieve shine finish here, and they haven't gone for that. It is actually a fully horizontally / circularly brushed case work here, and that crown there also, it's a kind of matte brush finish rather than any shining here. The case back is a display case back. You can see there it is screw down with display window. It is a push crown. Now the website says it's a screw down crown. This one is definitely not. I'll just show it to you. Right, it's a push pull crown. There is no screw down thread here. The rated accuracy, you can see at the back of the case there, is 30 meters, so kind of splash resistant. You really shouldn't be submerging this watch by any means. Moving on to the lovely dial here, then it is a Blue Planet dial, right? So the middle part is formed, and it's a metal alloy of some sort. I assume they haven't actually really stipulated, but they said it's formed using a micro engraving technology and an anodizing process. And again, note Eastern Hemisphere of the world rather than the Western Hemisphere, and no real surprise there because China features prominently in the north. But I love that it is a different aspect of the Earth to what we're usually used to seeing. Now the hour ring is in relief in the periphery that you hopefully can see that there's a bit of a relief there. The printing is raised above the base there, but the chatter ring looks like it's flat printed with chrome printing. That's the inner ring there. Just going to show you how this operates. So as you might have seen, the compass rose indicates the hour. So as I turn this, this is now pointing towards 10:50, right? And if I go backwards, the classic, sorry, that's 9:50. If I go forward slightly, that's 10:10. The classic position of a watch for display is 10 past 10, and right now that is 10 past 10. And if you note the hour ring, just goes 12 hours as you rotate, but the minute ring has to actually catch up every hour. So instead of a minute hand that turns 360 degrees every hour, this turns 390 degrees every hour. So they've had to modify the movement to provide that type of time display. There is no lume on this watch, and for a watch like this, actually I don't mind that there's no lume. It's probably very difficult to interfere with that art piece that is that Earth dial with providing lume. So I don't mind that they've left this without lume. Moving on to above this dial here is a dome sapphire, double dome sapphire crystal internal anti-reflective coating is what they have provided here. Right, and then moving on to the strap now. So this is nothing much to say except to say that it is, they really do make very supple, very nice silicone rubber straps, and this is no difference. They say it's food grade. I guess you can maybe lick it. I don't know what that means. I think it means that certain containers are allowed to be made of this material, and then brush titanium hardware is what we have here. Okay, that's the entire description, guys. Let's slap it on the wrist for a wrist shot for you guys now. And there we have it, the CIGA Design U Series Blue Planet original, very original piece on my 17 centimeter wrist. So that's how that strap sits, very, very comfortable, and that lovely lovely case, you know, and I haven't pointed this out, but it's got a very nice, you know, UFO kind of contour case here. This really what this case is, 46 millimeter, you know, that way it's a perfect circle, 46 millimeters, and then 15 millimeter stick, but because of the UFO, it doesn't sit very high. It kind of just presses gently into your wrist there. Okay, that's it, guys. That's the entire description. What have I enjoyed about this watch? What can you really say about this piece? I think it's difficult to put into words. I think it's a very special piece. I think it showcases the craftsmanship, the originality, and the innovation of CIGA Design, particularly in that time display, but also how they've come up with this case, you know, that really gorgeous case, actually, this UFO case, you know, and that globe design that they've come up with, that art, the relief on that globe there. I think it's a fascinating piece of wristwatch candy and wristwatch, you know, history, I suppose you might call it. It's definitely, no doubt, a conversation starter, and really this is what this is great at doing, you know, because it looks like nothing else I have ever seen. You know, the rest of it, it's almost irrelevant, right? I mean, it's a well done Blue Planet, you know, craftsmanship on that, you know, on that globe there. It's a very pleasing case, you know, really cool case here, and I would love to see this case or cases like this more widely used. Such a nice circular UFO case with those just nice contours there, and a very comfortable strap. And of course, you're getting sapphire, you're getting a, you know, I guess a Swiss copy, Swiss clone, and they have done very good movements here, and no doubt in my mind that this will be a quality movement that lasts as well. So getting all that, but you know, that is, I think, second line to all the innovation that you're having here. What are the weaknesses? Well, you know, I think the first thing to say is it's not a watch for telling the time. I mean, it does, but you're not wearing this because you really need to look at it to tell the time. And if you do want to tell the time, you're not going to tell it quickly. So not a practical watch in the sense that if you're going to need to be very conscious about timekeeping, this is not the piece to wear. This is the piece to wear to casual situations where you don't really have to keep time and you would love something to be able to start conversations with. This is great at that. And then lastly, I would say, you know, if they give a screw down crown for the later production, great. I would love to see that because it can do with one with also a higher water rating, so you're not afraid to take this in the shower or maybe also for a swim, because definitely the strap allows you to get it wet. I would love to see a watch that is not afraid to get wet. And that's it, guys. That's my comments on this watch. Let's flip it around now for the wrap up. So there you go, guys, my review of the CIGA Design U-Series Blue Planet watch. Let me know what you think of all the watches I've reviewed from them, and I think this is about half a dozen as the count goes. This is, I think, the most interesting one, the most fascinating one of all. Let me know what you think of the price. You know, I think it is definitely on the sharper end, the most expensive watch yet, but hey, you got to pay for design, innovation and originality. I think this one actually has all three of that, no doubt at all. So I look forward to the conversation we're going to have below in the comments. Always appreciate the feedback that you guys give. Guys, if you enjoy my videos, do consider subscribing. New content every week, always aiming to be objective and unbiased about all things horology. Thank you again for sticking with me, and as always, I'll catch you guys again next time.